I'll start with the positives of this legislation, Minister, but maybe the best thing I can say is that thankfully, despite the name of the bill, it has nothing to do with turf. The increase in Bord na Móna's borrowing capacity to 650 million to help them fund their expansion into renewable energy is a positive step. Minister, I have to say while I'm here, projects that they're involved in, and I want to talk about ONN for a second, they absolutely need to respect the community there. They need to keep the promises that they made, and they need to do everything to alleviate stress of homeowners who have to live in those projects. I'd ask you maybe to have a look at that, because it's not acceptable. We all want to see the state lead the way in the investment in renewable energy to ensure that the state retains as much ownership as possible of our energy production in the future. The transition to renewable energy opens a window of opportunity in this regard. The bill allows EirGrid to procure 450 megawatts of backup electricity generation capacity. The need for this has been caused by the abysmal management of electricity infrastructure and planning by successive governments. The legislation also makes it possible for the PSO levy to move into a negative to give a discount on people's bills, and this is certainly very welcome. Estimates that this will save households around €75 in 2023. Your department recently produced National Energy Security Framework. It estimates that a 45 to 60% increase in electricity costs above 2021 levels later in the year. That's an increase of €500 to €700 per household. Also, the impact that this is having on small businesses, small and medium businesses, is absolutely ferocious. It's straining the viability of many of these businesses, and it's further driving inflation. This is the direct result of rising gas prices and the fact that gas dictates the price of all electricity prices. Despite almost half of the electricity coming from wind, gas sets the price. Unless you own a wind turbine, this is bad news, and there are too many households who just can't take much more bad news when it comes to bills. Mayo and North Mayo in particular has some of the highest levels of energy poverty in the state. I've raised the need to look at the EU prescribed system for pricing electricity with you and with the Taoiseach over the last year, and each time the issue has been dismissed out of hand. If this was out of desire to be the best boys in Europe, then let me tell you, 2 weeks ago, President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said that this market system does not work anymore. We have to reform it. We have to adapt it to the new realities. Thankfully, other governments across Europe have not been as passive and pushed a reform agenda in the Commission. It's really something that we should be leading the way on. I've said it many times. Thank you, Minister.